Hello, I'm Robert, and you're welcome here in my busy little shop. On today's episode of What's on My Workbench, I've got a package to open up here. I had a video of packing up the shop and moving south for the winter, and I had this and another package to open up. I received this actually probably almost 2 weeks ago, but we had some drama in Colorado, had to evacuate where we were at. Didn't get a chance to open it, didn't have a chance before I moved. But I've got a project I'm working on today, and this applies. So let's go over here on the workbench. We'll open this up, and we'll see what I think of what's inside here and see how interested you are as well. I appreciate you being with me in the shop today. So I'm working on a belt here today. This is a black diamondback belt. It's for a gentleman out of Kansas. And I thought I would take this opportunity to open this package. I called Bruce Johnson and I was explaining some frustrations with the common groover here, the cutting of that, how small it is, how it's easy to clog. And then also I had gotten some information from some other folks on another one of my tools here, this Horseshoe brand edger here. And I like the construction of this. The tip that was supplied with it was really pretty good size. I had someone like, well, it's not meant for you, it's meant for saddle people and they use bigger thread. I'm fine with that, but what was important out of it is I had a couple of people point out that they sell different size tips for this, which I didn't know. So I reached out to Bruce Johnson. He's kind of my go-to guy. If you haven't checked him out, he does he handles new tools, but he also handles old tools. So if you've got a vintage tool that you're looking for, Bruce is probably one of the people to give a shout to. So let's open this up here. We've got it double packaged, I guess, here. And we'll take a look and see what we've got in here. He also wanted me to point out he has sharpening services now. So if you're looking for some sharpening, maybe I'll take a picture of this, put this at the end here. He's got his prices, which I think the typical person can probably sharpen their tool. But if you've got one that's been abused, had a tough life and needs to be brought back into shape, that might be a way to go. So we'll have to see here what I've got. I asked for a few different things. He said he would send me a FID, which I've got one there, a little C.S. Osborne scratch off, it says $5. And then a diamond shaped FID here, and that was $8, so not terribly expensive so far. You got a little note here. Let me read this note and I'll be right back. Okay, so what I'd asked for was a groover tip here, and what I was looking for was some variation to that size. I think if I put it there, maybe you can kind of see that. Groover tip was pretty good size. I was looking for some options, and I explained to him that really this tool here, the size of groove that makes for my stitching irons is plenty big. It's really more of a little bit of a groove to help set the tool in, but I don't need it to be, crazy deep. And obviously you can use a little control on this and cut not as deep, but it's still fairly wide. So he said he sent me some different groover tips here. This one is a large, and it's more in this style of a groover tip. It's probably hard for you to see. That's the large. A medium. In his note, he said he sent me a large at no cost because I asked for a small, 2 smalls and a medium. And this is the medium, and then a couple of smalls here. Yeah, the small is pretty small. That is smaller than what's in this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give those a try and see how they work. I actually played around a little bit with this tip in here. Now the tool is able to tighten down and hold it, but it was a little smaller diameter than what would typically be found in here. And the shaft on it is round, whereas this is rectangular, which helps for aligning it. But I was able to get that to work, so I thought I would try these out as well. So he sent me a small, medium, well, two small, medium, and large here. So those are $25 a piece for those. And I'm sorry, I think he said these are made by by Barry King, I think, but it doesn't say here who made them. But I got those, like I said earlier, from Bruce Johnson. And then these two guys here. So let me set this out of the way. And then I also asked for a blade for my hand awl here. I wanted to start off with a new one instead of an old one that I was sharpening up. So this is a diamond shaped awl tip for my awl. And I'll be putting it in this tool here. So I'll be replacing that awl. I'm going to start off, I think, I'm going to try that medium in here first. Let me get an Allen wrench for this. And I know the tips for these aren't terribly expensive, but I was hoping to come up with maybe something that was a little higher quality and easier to sharpen and not clog. I do find sometimes the leather wants to clog that little bitty hole there at the end. Let's see. Get it the right way. Wow, that is sharp. That cut with a lot more ease than a new one of those. And I have some new ones, but that is bigger than I need. So let me switch this out for a small. I think that will work. Yeah, I like that. I'll come back to this later, but well, let's see if it's the same size Allen wrench. Oh, it is. Switch it out now. I like that. I like that bigger than that bigger blade there. Sweet. All right. Let's try this on a belt. Okay, so let me give this one a try. So it's the new tip in my old tool here. And I've got this belt that I'm working on, and I want to make sure I don't have it set wrong. Probably move that a little bit. Always try along here and push the wrong way to make sure it looks good. I like that. So this is cutting really nice. And this belt goes a little longer than normal. This is the largest belt I think I've ever made. It's a 53-inch belt. So that means I need a 63-inch belt before I do the fold over and then obviously put the holes in. All right. It looks like that works. I like that. It seems like it cuts easier. I don't know what it is about this one. I can sharpen it a little bit I've tried a couple different ways, but it seems like I eat through this face of it here pretty fast, and then it seems like it gets harder and harder. And I suppose maybe I just need to work on the angles and such on here and see if I can sharpen these better than I do. Typically what I do is I stroke them backwards on my stropping board here, backwards like that, just to put a little bit of a burnish on this edge here. So that's a good solution for here. I think that's a good fix for this. I mean, obviously there's one thing that happens when I replace it with this tip. And the Horseshoe brand, maybe they make a I call it a U-shaped one here. Maybe they make it in smaller ones. The nice thing about this is you can use it either way, and because it's sharpened on both sides, so you do have twice the area there. But we'll give this a try and see. When I bought this, I think I said before, it was a kind of a snap decision to purchase, and I ended up with one that cut a much bigger groove than I typically use for what I do most, which is the belts. Well, there you go. It'll be interesting to see how this tip performs over a long period of time in comparison to the ones that I buy with that. And I bought this at Tandy, so I'm typically buying the replacement tips from there. And I guess we'll see how it lasts in comparison. If you're ever in the need of a vintage tool, an old tool, give Bruce Johnson a call or check out his website. He has new tools on there all the time. I don't know where he comes up with his, seems like endless steady supply of used tools, but he also carries new tools as well. And we'll try out my Horseshoe edger here. I've got another belt I've got to work on. I'll futz with a little bit on that. And I'll put a couple clips of this belt here at the end so you can see my finished belt there. Headed to Kansas City probably before you see this video. I appreciate you taking time to be within the shop today. Please like, share, and subscribe. But more importantly, I hope you have a great day. All right, here we go. I think it turned out really nice. This is what I call the Diamondback. That's a Barry King diamond, 1/2 inch by 1/4 inch in size on the diamond. Set one diamond at a time to create the pattern. Stainless steel buckle here. My maker's mark and other stamps there from Tim Purdy Steel Stamps Inc. I think it came out really nice.